Okay, for today's adult class, we're going to be going through a few different things. We're going to review choke techniques and just work on our hand speed, which is a great opportunity when we're practicing by ourselves to just work on our hand speed and our techniques. We're going to be doing quite a bit of striking, just to get plenty of kicks out there and just practice and be nice and relaxed and be self-directed. I'm also going to recommend that at one point you hop in to do one of our form videos. Right? There's so many different form videos that may be appropriate for you to pick from, so I'll kind of let you use your discretion there. But we're going to get started with some warm-ups, and then we'll get into our curriculum from there. All right, today, folks, we're going to just do a quick warm-up to get our bodies ready for class, right? Kind of low intensity. I like to do warm-ups where we're basically mimicking movements we're doing in class, but we're just doing them kind of like 50-60% speed, just to kind of prepare our body, get us breathing, moving. Right? So we're going to start off in a fighting stance. We're just going to twist and twist, twist and twist, right? What we're really focusing on, kind of our core, right? Our back, and it's just kind of getting our body used to the turning that's, so common in the techniques that we use for punching and generating power and kicking and stuff like that. Right? Now, if you want to make this a little bit technical, it's not a bad idea to think about making this into like a block, 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 block. All right, we're switching legs, 30 seconds the other side, just twisting, just getting our body ready. Nothing too hard, nothing too fast, just twist and twist, twist and twist. Good idea to start getting your breathing rhythm down if you can. A little tricky when I'm trying to talk you through it, but breathe out. Couple more seconds of this one, and we're done. Okay, next move. We're going to stay with our feet kind of even. We're just going to shuffle to one side, punch, shuffle to the other side, and punch. Right? Let's start going. Now, as we do this, punch straight ahead. We're working on the kind of adductors and abductors, right? The inner thigh, the outer thigh, things like that. Trying to prevent injuries by just getting our body ready. If you're feeling a little bit more frisky and you want to punch with a little bit more intensity, I guess you can do that. Or if you want to cover more ground, right? So you can really start to hop a little bit more. But again, during warm-up, I generally recommend keeping it pretty easy, letting your body get ready for class. Okay, next move. We're going to go back into a fighting stance. We're going to do a jab, across, switch, jab, cross, and then you switch. Let's go. Jab, cross, switch, jab, cross, switch. Now you could do this stepping, or you could do this with a hop. Whichever is right for you is fine for you. Right, I'm stepping right now. Right, I'm hopping right now. Whichever, it's fine. Couple more seconds, and we're good. Okay, next up, we're going to just take our back leg. We're going to knee forward, right? Just like that. Reset back. Now turn sideways. You can if you want to, but there's no real reason to. Just wanted to give you the idea. You could think about making this into like a straight knee. You could think about making this into an upward knee. The important thing is we're just kind of activating these muscles. Not particularly intense, particularly fast. Doesn't even matter which leg you're using. Because in a second, we're going to switch legs. Speaking of the devil, we're going to switch legs. Go for it. One thing I would encourage you to do is make sure that your base foot is turned out a little bit. Right? Nothing like hurting yourself during warm-ups. That's basically the worst thing you could do. Right? So step that out a little bit, bring up your knee, step that out a little bit. Keeps pressure out of your knee. If it hurts in your knee, you're probably doing this wrong. You should talk to someone, right, who can give you some advice, either a doctor, sensei, whatever. Okay, next move, we're going to be doing a tap down front kick. We're still staying in the kind of warm-up intensity version of this. All we're going to do is we're going to reach down, come up and kick, right? I'll show you once from the side, reach down, come up and kick. Key thing here, make it into a reach, not really a stretch. If you feel like you're really activating and stretching your hamstring, you're going too far. You're just trying to make the muscles move a little bit, right? So we're here, we reach down a little bit, we kick. And you can see I'm kicking kind of low, right? We probably aren't testing our range of motion just yet. We're warming up that muscle group. And you might feel this in your lower back a little bit. Might feel it a little bit, like I said, your hamstrings, your glutes. That's fine. As long as you're just activating the muscle, not really stretching it. Okay, we're switching to the other leg. I'm gonna kick forward on this one. Time didn't want to reset there. And go for it. Tap down, come up, tap down, and come up. One little bit of advice as you do this, try not to look at the floor, then look at the screen, look at the floor, look at the screen. Once you have the idea, pick something like, I don't know, 6 to 10 feet in front of you, and look at that thing, right? And by 6 to 10 feet in front of you, I mean 6 to 10 feet in front of you and on the floor. Okay, that way you can maintain eye contact with that throughout the movements. Okay, we're gonna get a couple stretches in. I'll be ready to do class. So start with our feet apart, a little wider than shoulder width. We're gonna bring our arms up, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean a little bit to one side and a little bit to the other side. Right now, in a perfect world, if you know the breathing rhythm for this, it's exhale, inhale as you come up, exhale as you go to the side, and you follow kind of your breathing rhythm. Working the intercostal muscles, the obliques a little bit. You'll notice I'm really focusing on reaching up more than trying to like collapse hard to the side, okay? Reach up, keep your spine pretty straight. Okay, next move, we're gonna do half circles. If you're familiar with this, great. If not, you may wanna watch the first one. All right, I'm gonna come up here and turn to one side. I don't care which side, just as long as you turn to one. Get out flat as you can. Come across in front. The whole time, you're trying to keep your spine straight, or as straight as can be, really. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. Hopefully you saw it. You can do it. Take your time. Try and be slower than me. Oh, that feels good. Start to feel that your hamstring. Okay, we're gonna go the same thing the other direction 2 times. So you turn, you get out flat, you come all the way out, really reach. Oh, feels so good. Go again, that big half circle. Go out, reach, 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 reach. And come up. Okay, now you can shake out your arms a little bit. If you want, your shoulders sometimes tighten up as you do that. We're gonna do that one more time, but this time we're gonna be doing the full circle. So instead of reaching out, I'm gonna go all the way to the ground, right? So again, pick a side, we're gonna do 2 each way. So I turn, you see I get down to flat, but I keep going. I reach out, maybe towards one of my feet. Take your time, go over to the other side, all the way, and up. Okay, we're going again, same thing, slow and steady. And if you need more time when we're, doing this, if I'm getting ahead of you, feel free to pause this. Do as much stretching as you need to feel like you're ready to move. All right, I'm going the other side, taking your time. Big circle, try and relax into that stretch. And come up. We're going one more time. Big circle. Big, 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 big. All right. So that's going to be our warm-up for today. All right, if you need to take a minute, get a sip of water, do a couple extra stretches, that's fine. We're going to get into the next part of class. All right, so we're going to get a little striking time in. And what we're going to be doing today is we're just going to be doing a minute of each kick, right, that we're doing. We're not going to do every kick. That's going to take a long time. And we're going to do that on each leg, right? So it's going to give us plenty of time to smooth out some of the bumps that are in our strengths. Now, one of the big things about martial arts is you really want to be brilliant in the basics. You want to be able to take a simple move and be able to do it incredibly well, right? Trying to perfect something instead of just trying to have a million different kicks that you're kind of bad at. You want like 3 or 4 that you're really stupendous at. Right, so we're going to start off with our front kick. We're going to be kicking for a minute, right? As we're going, I'll start talking and explaining things, but for now, we're just doing front kicks with our, well, I don't care, whichever leg you want. Go ahead and start kicking. Now, as you're doing your kicks, you got to come up with a plan. Come up with a goal. Right? What are you trying to accomplish on this kick? Are you trying to kick higher? Are you trying to kick faster? Those are a couple kind of rudimentary goals, right? People tend to pick those kinds of things. Right? Maybe you're working on opening your base foot. Maybe you're thinking about shaping your foot as you kick. Whatever it is, you want to just think about that for a minute, right? So pick something and just keep kicking. One of the things we're looking for is just be smooth. If you have to think a lot about it, it's not going to be smooth. All right, that's 1 minute down. Next thing, we're doing a front kick with the other leg. Same idea. Just be smooth. Right? In all likelihood, you have the same goal on this leg that you have in the other leg. Maybe you're not letting your knee hyperextend, right? Maybe you're focusing on chambering. Hands up. Timing your breath. These are all things you could think about, right? The beauty of practicing by yourself is that you have the freedom to practice whatever you want. The challenge of practicing by yourself is you have the responsibility to practice whatever you need. You gotta kind of balance those two for success and happiness. So we're just kicking. Almost done with front kicks, nice and fluid. Yep, got 2 seconds left. Good, okay. That's enough front kicks. We're transitioning to roundhouse kick. So you do your roundhouse kick, think about what your goal is. Maybe it's the same goal you had in your front kick. Maybe it's a different goal. I don't know. You're in charge, right? I'm going to show you a couple of different ways in this one. Landing forward, turning sideways, all sorts of stuff. Ready? Let's go, roundhouse kick. I'm going to be landing forward for now. You can do it where you don't land forward. You come back, that's fine too. But for now, I'm practicing this component of my roundhouse kick. You can practice whatever you want. Just stay with it. Don't beat yourself up if you don't feel like it's perfect. Frankly, if you feel like it's perfect, you're doing it wrong. One thing you'll find, people who train a long time, they can tell you 1,000 things you're doing wrong. A new person can't tell you hardly a single thing. Right? Oh, I should kick higher. I should kick faster. I should have better control. Whatever it is. Okay? We're switching legs. I'm going to do this one kicking sideways, get a different point of view. And away we go. And it's a very simple activity. So theoretically, if you just wanted to practice this, you can do this while you're watching TV. You can practice this while you're, I don't know, waiting for dinner to be done, right? Not necessarily while you're waiting for the bus. That gets awkward. Don't do this out in the street. People will look at you funny. But all you would want to do is set a timer like I've been doing on my watch, right? And go for a minute, right? And after a minute, you change. And you can do that for as many minutes as you want, for as many kicks as you want. You can do 100 kicks, right? 100 different kicks, I mean. Right? Or you could just do the same kick over and over and over again. That's fine too. Okay, so we're moving on. Third kick, you're gonna do lead leg, side kick, all right? Again, what's your goal? Maybe you're making sure your foot's sideways. Maybe you're making sure your back foot points backwards, or your base foot points backwards, I should say. Maybe you're chambering with your foot in front. Maybe you're keeping your hands up. Maybe you're trying to keep your shoulder up. There's lots of different goals. Pick the thing you're gonna be doing, right? Stick with it, ready? And go. Now another approach you're gonna find as you practice by yourself for a minute is sometimes you're going for the slow and steady approach, right? Like I'm kind of doing right now. It's kind of like an even rhythm to your kicks, right? It's the equivalent of like going for a jog, okay? The other option you could do is you could do like a wing sprint, right? Where you wait, kick fast, you wait, kick fast, and you wait. Because no one does wing sprints where they just constantly sprint. You go fast, catch your breath, go fast, catch your breath. Again, it's another kind of change you can put into your system. Another thing to work on as you practice your kicks for a minute. All right, we're switching legs. I'm gonna do these ones sideways. Ready? And go. Right, so you probably notice my back foot is turning, toes pointing that way. That's a good thing. You could do it more of a step approach. It's more like the beginner option for getting this done right. Right? Or you can do the hop-in approach. Kind of figure out which one you're at. If you're having a hard time getting it backwards, maybe step. So you can kind of teach your body what it should feel like. Or you're like, I've been doing this for years since I jump into it. That's cool. Gives you extra power. Right? It keeps your weight moving forward into the opponent instead of having the opponent just knock you over, which is no fun. All right. 3 kicks down, 2 more to go. Next up, we've got hop step, front kick, hop step, roundhouse kick after that. As we do our hop step kicks, big thing that we talk about is making sure our feet don't cross, right? Basic way, stepping together, kick. I'll show you the more advanced way in a minute. I'm gonna do these to the side for short. Ready? And go. Just like your front kick. Maybe you're working on kicking higher. Maybe you're kicking faster. Maybe you're kicking lower, right? Maybe you're just like, hey, I wanna make sure my toes are up. It's your minute, you get to do with it what you want. If you're not sure which one you should focus on, it's a fantastic thing to ask for help with, right? Talk to a sensei, right? Next time you're in a group class, private session, whatever it is, say, hey, what should I be focusing on next to do my kicks? And one thing I'll tell you, when you hear that, practice it a bunch, right? The most common mistake we run into, someone hears, oh, you've got to keep your hands up. Say, okay, well, I practiced that for a minute. That means I'm good. That's not what it means. Doing the same thing the other side. Ready? Go. If you practice this 10,000 times with your hands down, and then you do 10 times with your hands up, I know which one your body's going to remember. Hopefully you know too. It's not going to be the right one. Right? You got to train it over and over and over again. Right? in such a simple move like a front kick, not like a form, forms are long, right? Something like a kick. Do it where you can do it 50 times in a row right, 100 times in a row right, before you say to yourself, I got this, I don't need to practice it anymore. Maybe 10,000 times. That's a good number. Right? But otherwise, keep practicing what you're doing. Almost done with this one. Got 2 seconds left. All right, coming up on hop step, roundhouse kick. Very similar to hop step front kick, only you do a roundhouse. You got all the things you got to think about with your roundhouse kick. It's your base foot turned, are my toes pointed, keep my hands up, all that stuff. And we just layer in, changing your base, closing the gap. All right, ready? Go for it. One of the more common mistakes I see in a roundhouse kick, people don't point their toes. They're just gonna let their foot flap, right? A couple reasons it's bad for you. One, if you hit something, you're gonna break your foot. That is if you hit it with your foot. If you shouldn't, it's a different animal, but if your toes hit into someone's ribs, they'll break. Not even having to kick the elbow, let alone the elbow. Ooh, smash those toes. The other thing is, if you just let your foot flap, very often people hyperextend their kick. And after doing a bunch, their knee hurts. They're like, why does my knee hurt? Well, because you just hyperextended it 50 times in a row. What do you think it's gonna do? You gotta pay attention to that stuff. All right, we're switching legs. Last minute of kicking for our 10 minutes of kicks. Ready, go. Good, keep that goal in mind. Kicking high, kicking fast. Maybe you're sprinting, maybe you're slow and steady. You should know the right answer for you, and it is in all likelihood not the same one that I'm really focusing on right now. Because the beauty of training by yourself is that you get to work on what you need, not on what the class needs. If everybody else in class has their hands flapping around, you got your hands up, you get to focus on the next thing. Pointing your toes, kicking fast, kicking high, whatever the thing is that you need to make yourself better. I'm slowly moving towards the camera. All right. That's 10 minutes of kicking. Good job. If you want to do some more, feel free, pause this, rewind this, whatever it is. All right, so we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to work through a few different ways you can practice choke number 2, right, as we practice independently at home. Now, one of the great things about the choke techniques is that they're techniques where you don't have to interact too much with a partner and you can develop a lot of speed. And actually, by not having a partner in the way, you can develop a lot of speed, right, and trying to work on coordinating your hips and your hands, right, without having to worry about punching somebody in the face, right? So they're great techniques for us to practice just to work on kind of learning how to sequence our arms and our hips when we're challenging ourselves to go faster and faster and faster. So a quick review of what the choke technique looks like. I can show it to you from the side. I step back, chop the ribs, break up, come back, hit, right? So one more time, kind of looks like this when you do it fast, right? But before we can do it fast, we got to do it slow, break it down to pieces. Let's get started with the first part. All right, so as we're working on choke 1, the first section that we're going to do is we're going to step back with our right foot. Now I'm mirroring in case you haven't noticed. I step back with my right foot, kind of brace into a front stance. Take both hands, I chop, right? Now these are chops that would hit to the ribs, right? Then you break up, and then you crush in with a double hammer fist, right? We're gonna do that a couple times. Make sure you chop pretty high. The most common mistake I see people is slapping low instead of chopping high, right? You wanna be like right by the armpits, right? Break up, not down, not out, up. So you kind of end up in a fighting stance. And then quick, double hammer fist that would hit right on the temples. All right, so step back, chop, up, and then in. Ready? Again, step back, duck your chin, chop the ribs. That kind of happens all at once. Break up and hit. One more time, step back, chop, up, and hit. Okay, so we got the first part of the technique down. Let's start learning the second part. All right, so as you go into the next section of this technique, we start from here where we just ended. We come back, we turn our feet, and we come forward. 1, 2. Now you're going to notice my feet twist. You may not be able to see them very well, but they do not step, right? I'm twisting and coming back. So it starts from here, twist back, twist forward. The first of these hammer fists, right? So I start from here, as I come back, my first hammer fist is to the temple. The next one is underneath that to the jaw, right? Again, starting from here, come back, temple, jaw. And what you're trying to get is the timing that you're splitting your hip rotation and getting 2 hand movements in one rotation of your hip. All right, a couple more times. If you can get it faster, that's even better. All right. So very good. All right, if you feel good about that, we're going on to the next part where we're going to put those 2 halves together. All right, so from here, we're going to do the whole self-defense technique, stitch it together. All right, so we're going to stitch choke 2 together now. Those 2 halves, put them into one piece. We step back with our right leg. We chop the ribs. We break up, double hammer fist. That was the first section. We twist back to our right, come forward, left hand, then right hand. All right, we're going to do that kind of slow, but we're going to make sure we do it correctly. Step back, chop to the ribs. Make sure it's pretty high, not too low. Break up, keep them from going too far apart. Quick hit, twist back, hammer fist to the temple, hammer fist to the jaw. We're doing it again. Chop, break, double hammer, come back, hammer, hammer. I'm going to show you one time from the side. Hopefully it just illuminates things. Step back with my right, chop, break up, double hammer, come back. See my belly's turning forward. All right, a couple more times. Chop, break, double hammer, come back, hammer, hammer. One more time. Step back, chop, break, double hammer, come back, hammer, hammer. Okay, for this last round, nothing really new to learn, just do it faster, right? So we start going, chop, break, come back, hammer, hammer. Good, and we just go again. And you want to progressively get faster while maintaining that hip rotation and those hand details. All right, getting fast now. Good, I'll show you a couple from the side. We're almost out of time already anyway. Lots of quickness in our hips and our feet. Good to visualize you're hitting somebody. All right, nice job, folks. Keep working on that. Let's get ready for the next thing in class. All right, so we're going to wrap up today with a little... So we're going to wrap up class today with a simple stretching routine. It's going to be 2 stretches on 2 different legs 2 times. So each one's 30 seconds. We're going to be doing it for 4 minutes. The first stretch, you can use a belt for this, right? Like your martial arts belt is fine. You can use a regular belt, right? Like you used to hold up your pants. You can even use a towel to do this just to get leverage. If you got something that you can wrap around your foot, you're basically good to go. And what we're going to do is we're going to lie on our back. We're going to bring up our leg, and we're going to start stretching for 30 seconds. Now, the things you want to think about doing here are keeping your head relaxed onto the floor. You don't want to sit your head up trying to reach. You want to be able to relax into this posture. You can also think about pulling your toes towards your face, which adds a little bit of flavor to it, especially if you pull your pinky toe towards your face. Right? We're just going to hold it there for a few more seconds. You can gradually increase the intensity. Good. Now we're going to transition into this next stretching. This is kind of the trickiest part, so I'm going to show you how this works. You're going to roll onto your side and bring your leg behind your back. like this. Now, I'm going to turn so you can see the back side here. When you have this, you want to have your foot going right into your behind. Right, so we're going to stretch for 30 seconds. The other thing that you want to do is you don't want this leg to be straight. You can kind of see this leg straight out underneath me. You want to bend it knee to your chest. I'll show you this, the other point of view in just a moment so you can get a look at it. And obviously after you've practiced these stretches, you'll start to recognize them. They get a little bit repetitive, but this is good for the front of our leg, our quadricep into our hip flexor. Couple seconds. Good. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So we're going to lie on our back. We're going to just switch our other foot in. Right? Exactly like we did before. Oh, I lost my loop. Right? Straighten out your leg and let's go. It's good to breathe into your stretch. So if you're not doing this, if you want to practice this without the video at another point, it's actually a really good idea to try and do this for 10 breaths instead of for a specific period of time. Okay, so now we've got that tricky transition, right? As I roll over, I bring my hand over my shoulder and never really let go, right? And we're going to do the exact same thing, 30 seconds and stretch. Now you can see I'm bringing this knee forward, right? I'm trying to stretch right here, right? And try and keep your knee low. Don't let it pop up this way. And definitely don't try and bring your foot next to your hip. That's super bad for you. Don't do that. You want to keep that alignment nice and straight. Slide out of scenes. I'll move over a little bit so you get this point of view. There you go. Okay, so that's the end of that. We're going to do the exact same thing one more time. So I switch my feet, bring my leg up, and I go. Now the first go around we talked about keeping our head down. Now we're going to talk about just kind of pulsing this. And what this means is you're going to bend your knee a little bit. When you bend your knee, your foot gets a little closer to your face. And then you straighten your leg a little bit. And then you bend it. And you straighten it. And what you're going to find is your foot starts creeping a little bit closer to your head when you do that. So you might want to do that a couple times. Right? But for now, we're going to do our rollover and stretch the front of our leg. And you can always add a little more tension by pulling down, pull that over your shoulder. And again, try and relax and breathe. Relax and breathe. Good. All right. Almost there. One more stretch to do. Switch your feet. Bring it up. Get yourself in position. 30 seconds. And again, we can do that pulsing trick of bend your knee a little bit. If you're trying to time it with your breath, you breathe out, you bend your knee. You exhale, you push your heel up. Oh, that's so good. We got to take care of those hamstrings. We did a bunch of kicks today. All right. And from here, we're going to do our last stretch. We're going to roll it over, twist, bring our foot behind, our hand behind our leg behind our back. Ooh, been a long day today. Lots of striking and practicing. Get a little garbly mouth. And again, I want to emphasize the importance of bringing your knee forward. When you do this, it keeps your spine neutral and keeps you from kind of putting tension into your lower back, which is not the intention to put tension into your lower back. Good. All right. That's that. That's our stretch for the day. Good job, folks. Look forward to seeing you in class really soon.